Oh, we going live? Peace, 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 peace. If you're in the building, family, this is about to be a good one. We told y'all we got about 70 classes lined up for you. Well, this is one of them. Now, the actual title of this class, we had to do it like that, but you'll get the picture. Let's roll that intro while we give them time to get in here. So we got to keep it clean, YouTube. We got to keep it real crispy and clean.
Young L on the beat.
All right. As you know, yesterday we was trying to put out one of the tapes, and I guess it wasn't the right timing, and we had to delete that tape because we got about 12 minutes off on that tape, but we had to delete that tape because I guess it was they had the game going on yesterday, so it was like we didn't know what time everything was going to transpire, but we back at you with another banger. And this is what I'm about to do here. Y'all need to share and like and share it on your Facebook, Instagram, and TikToks and all that. Because this is a critical part in this game, what I'm about to tell you. It's a critical part in all the stuff that Rod been putting out. This Colorado. Why Jeff Ford is in Florence, Colorado. Why Larry Hoover is in Florence, Colorado. While many other saints like Martin Luther King and Malcolm X and the other brothers who were good people who had good intentions were took out, and the blood of the saints is on their hands, man. The blood of the saints is on Babylon hands. They got rid of Bob Marley because he made music that promoted peace. If you think that ain't the devil, I mean, come on. I ain't got to beat it over your head. These same people who I'm about to tell you about got rid of all these guys. All the guys I'm about to tell you about got rid of these guys. And for you advanced students, bear with us because this goes back to the three wise men who were sent to take out Jesus. At least that's what they Herod wanted them to do. Keep in mind, the king always had these guys that he got on a chessboard. They'd be like the knights, they'd be the bishops, and the rooks, and the pawns. So each of these parts play a key component. But these guys were trying to prevent, just for my Bible guys, these guys, Herod was trying to prevent the rise of a Messiah, a person that would save his people, a person that would free his people from the matrix or whatever situation that wasn't working in their favor at the time. There would be a being. They knew that there would be a being that would come at some point in time and free his people. So they was on the verge of preventing it. And so this storyline, that whole storyline, really is a prophecy of what's happening to us now. There are beings on the land, two fractions, trying to prevent the rise of the Nubians to be, they say they don't want us to take over, whatever the case may be. They trying to stop us. Whatever we gonna eventually accomplish, they trying to stop us from doing it. And we're gonna point these guys out. Now that shit is screen, man. Cause we back into the slides now. Y'all said y'all like the slides. Yo, it's a lot of stuff that I was doing that I started it. I was the first one that started putting the music and the pictures to the words. You go ask anybody. Go back and check the timestamps on when I did it and then when everybody else started doing it. I was the first one. I don't believe I was the first one to start doing slides, but I started doing it real good, and now everybody doing it. Everybody is showing slides now. So you go back and check out my old tapes out. I did the music, everything everybody doing now. I was the first one doing it. They watch me, and then they, follow suit. So we got some new stuff we're going to start doing for you. Because we see these guys that step their game up with the intros and everything. So we're going to do a better intro than what we got. And we're going to liven this thing up. But they ain't spitting the information we spitting. They just watching. A lot of the guys watch our shit and this, quotas. You know what I'm saying? They quotas. Now, keep in mind, we got to break all this clear, man. Like I say, this is a key component in this. Because I don't hear nobody talking about this and putting it like we're going to put it. Like I said, we had to word it like we had to word it. But you're going to get the picture. Keep in mind, there's a group of beings called killer clowns. That's what I call them. But they rocked our crowns and they know about the mounds. But they're a whole bunch of clowns. You see, these beings are referred to as Shriners. What is a shrine? If you don't know what a shrine is. A shrine is like a place where a burial that took place, and a shrine, it can be all the way from flowers and balloons up into even putting a guard on the tomb, right? So that guard would be called a shriner. Now, why would you need a guard on a tomb, on a dead man's tomb, unless you expected him to get up? Because they knocked these people in top of the head by taking their language, by taking their culture, and replacing it with the beast's culture. And they locked them in a tomb and they stand in guard. Now, who are these people? Let's go back. Let me pull that photo back up, man. It's about to get exclusive, bro. Now, this is there's a war going on in the background, and we're about to break that wall down for you. The wall that Rod was mentioning up on the Babylon tape that we got to stay out the way of. I'm going to break down who's at war with each other. This is what this tape going to also show you. But I'm going to show you what's going on here. Never have it been made so clear. Freedom Master Teacher, Dr. Malachi Z. York, man. Without Malachi, we wouldn't be right here, right now, doing this for you. Without being able to make a contract with them to tell you the game. See, Baba was a sacrifice for us to be able to come to you and tell you the real deal, Holyfield. Now he go to 13 guys that supposedly set up the shrine on this side, on the Western Hemisphere, right? Now keep in mind the number 13. Because Rod Hayes told you that that was Big Mama's number. The 13 is Big Mama number because Big Mama sits the center seat in the zodiac. Big Mama becomes the 13th seat. Holding the sun. I can show you that statue where Big Mama holding the sun, holding the baby boy, right? So this shit is deep. It's deep, man. But these 13 Shriners, keep in mind that the leader of the clowns, there's 13 killer clowns. They call them potentates. They call these beings potentates. And it's 13 of them total. Now, usually the 13th one, because you got these things, let's go back, because this is all going to tie in together. Keep in mind the number 13. Now, let's also point out this connection. That's in connection with these killer clowns, these alphabet boys, and what they all about. We're going to talk about the origin of them, going all the way back to, like I say, even before the three wise men. Hold up. I want to show you this other picture. Now, keep in mind about the 13 killer clowns who were responsible for keeping you asleep. The Native Americans, the original people of this land. They're responsible. Their job is to keep you asleep. If they don't, they'll get beheaded by their masters. These killer clowns work for the Black Hand, but to show it all. They work for the Black Hand in the background. Right? So you have what you call 13 Federal Reserve. It's 13 counting DC, right? But it's 12 Federal Reserve Bank. DC will be the capital, or the capital. And you keep in mind, when you're talking about capital, you're talking about money. When you're talking capital, you're talking money. You see? All right, so it's 12 Federal Reserve. There's 12 killer clowns pasted over each of these reserves, which is probably on banks. This is stuff y'all already should know. I'm just going to put it to mold together for you. Shout out Big Chief, Big Homie Chief. I'm going to put it together for you more. So it's 12 killer clowns over all these districts, and they call them potentates. If you ain't a Mason and all that, you don't know nothing about this, a lot of this shit might go over your head. I'm sorry. Maybe you'll get that's why we record it, and maybe you'll get it later and you'll go back and figure it out. Now, usually it was 13 killer clowns, right? We pointed out. So usually the 13th clown usually becomes the president or the head of the FBI. The 13th clown usually is the head of the FBI, or he becomes the president. The 13th clown, because they are responsible for keeping that Federal Reserve going. You got to keep in mind, this goes back to Woodrow Wilson, Fangled America, in 1913, where they auctioned off the land and signed the Federal Reserve Act. This is part of it. This is part of how we got robbed. And if you think this is a game and you think this shit is light, this is where you're going to fuck up at and miss the whole picture. At that point, they was hoping to get the land until 1928 till Noble Jew Ali backdoored them and got the land back. This is why their stock market crashed in 1933, 1929, 1933, that area, the Great Depression. From this point, they no longer had the land. So they came out with a bright, they poisoned Noble Jew Ali, beat him to death and poisoned him. To where he within the inches of his life, where he got out and died a couple of days later. But we'll get into that part, because we're gonna do a whole tape on Noble Jew Ali. But Noble Jew Ali fangled him 1929 in Cuba, got the land. They wasn't expecting that, so they came out. They did another bright idea. They said, we don't need the land. If we get the people, we got the land. So what do? They formulated the Matrix. 1913, they formulated the Matrix. They were setting it up then. But after that, 1933, that's when they really created the Matrix, when they created the Social Security card, birth certificates, so they can sell you as stock and bonds in Delaware. and on Wall Street. You see, this is the game. But we're getting back to the 13 killer clowns that control these 13 districts. Like I say, the 12 plus DC. And if they don't do their job, they can be beheaded by the black hand. Their job, and that's why these dirty Moors gave them the fez. The dirty Moors allowed them to get fezes on their head to make the dirty Moors knighted them. Because, okay, all right, so in the Shriners is a little different, but we're going to talk about the Knights of Templar, which is the CIA. The Knights of Templar is the CIA, and the Shriners is the FBI. It's all going to be made clear for you in a minute. Don't get scared. Don't get scared. Right? So these killer clowns, when they become nobles. They call them nobles. And they made noble by the black hands. But they got to do their job, though. What's their job? Keep the Nubians, Native Americans, the Washita, the Muskoke, the Shinnecock, right? The Apache. Keep the Seminoles, which is a mix of during the war, right? Keep these people asleep. Tell them anything you can tell them, as long as they don't get up out their tomb and realize they standing on their own land. How is that a fact? Because when you do a crime, they can't export you off the land. When an African or another foreign person come over here and do a crime that's not a heinous crime, they get expedited back to their country. Why don't they? If you from Africa, why don't they expedite your ass back to Africa when you commit a crime? They can't, because you're not from Africa. They got to create jails so they can, which they term, our castles in the jails. They got to create more prisons to put you in. Why? Because they can't expedite you off the land. You own your own damn land. I'm telling you, man. This is the game. But the 13 killer clowns are responsible for protecting the Federal Reserve. Keep in mind the feds. You got to keep in mind all these key words. The feds. Who are the feds? The Federal Reserve. What are they protecting? The Federal Reserve. So the FBI interest is protecting the Federal Reserve. Keep in mind the Federal Reserve interest is the people. Because they, after like 1933, they, instead of having the land, they had to create another format where they put you into this matrix, and they called it human resource. So the humans are the resource, not the land anymore. They don't got control of the land. They don't got control of the gold. That's why all that gold was being held by the Pope until we could get the rightful thing to claim it. So Donald Trump is collecting that gold back from the Pope. All the gold that belongs to the United States, it don't belong to the Federal Reserve. The Federal Reserve don't got the gold. Only reason they had the gold at that point is because they got the people. Keep in mind, this is about the people. This is about nothing else but the people, man. It's not about money. To them, it is about money and control. But the game, the finish the game is not about having money to finish the game. To finish the game, it's about getting the minds of the people. They talking about Rod don't got no tribe, and Rod ain't no chief, and Rod ain't this, right? But Rod is cracking the codes. He getting the minds of the people. That's what we need, because the minds of the people agree to the fiat, to the Federal Reserve to keep it going. Man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. They don't got the land. They got the minds of the people. That's why they call it a state, as in states of existence. When there's no such thing, when it come down to Turtle Island, it was all one land. It was all one land. Now, we did have different tribes have different lands, but the Louisiana Purchase is almost the whole middle of the United States was Washita land. So keep in mind, I don't want to get too sidetracked, but I just want to build up to this. The 13 killer clowns set up the Federal Reserve. To protect the Federal Reserve, they got to keep you asleep. Because if you wake up and say, you know what, they T-bonds that they're using to keep this game going worldwide, which is actually dissolving naturally anyway, because of their time is up anyway. But the T-buns is like I say, is dissolving anyway. But we, the people, agreed to this matrix. That's why it's still going. People agree to it. Now you may say, man, what we gonna do? Start paying our bills, this and that. Nah, man, this is happening. It's gonna happen by default. I'm telling you, the shutdown is gonna happen by default because everybody figured out that the United States corporation is all game and business. It's not about future preservation. It's about game and business. It's about game and business. So what happens? So now you know about the Federal Reserve, the 13 killer clowns who are responsible for controlling it. Now you know why J. Edgar Hoover set up the FBI. I mean, not necessarily he set it up, but he was one of the ones that got it going hard in the paint after Negroes, up and coming Negroes who could potentially wake their people up and tell them, hey man, y'all Native Americans, to take down the Federal Reserve. So these beings are responsible for protecting that. And that's why you see J. Edgar Hoover was a killer clown, man. Let me find a picture of him. Why is these guys wearing our crown, man? Talking about my Moors. Now, all of you people ain't Moors. But for the most majority of you are. Even if you wash your tie. If you wash your tie, you a Moor because you mixed in with the Moors. A lot of y'all mixed in with the Moors. Okay? Let me look for this. I was trying to find J. Edgar Hoover in his Shriner hat. But y'all know he was a Shriner, right? Now let's pull it up on Google. So you can see it. I'm gonna get to the Knights of Templar who was the CIA. And if you want to know, they go all the way back, the Assassin's Creed, the church. We about to connect everything. We about to get these niggas. Somebody in the crowd say, Young L, get these niggas, man. Stop playing with these niggas, man. If you're sleeping on Young L, you're about to get a crook in your neck. If you're sleeping on a Young L, you're about to get a crook in your neck, my nigga. Okay? Now let's pull this up. I want y'all to see this killer clown. And you're gonna understand why he set up the Black Death and all that to protect that Federal Reserve. That's their whole mission. All right, so you see this dude right here. That's J. Edgar Hoover right there. Let's say this picture. We're gonna save it in our file so we can blow it up. We gotta blow this cat up, man. Let's blow this cat up. Let's blow this dude up, man. J. Edgar Hoover. You know what I'm saying? You gonna figure out what this is about, man. Look at these guys shaking hands. Masonry. Look at them shaking hands. This is about, we're gonna figure out who controlling this. That's Eisenhower right there, ain't it? Look what it say, potentate. See what it say right here? Imperial potentate. So these 13 killer clowns, they potentates. See that? Okay, let's go back. We're gonna blow it up for you. We got them. Don't worry. Somebody say, y'all get these niggas, man. Get these niggas, y'all. Hold on, let's blow. We gotta blow Hoover up. Hoover and his gang. And he bought, look, Truman was the president during this time when it was after Malcolm X. And we're gonna do a whole tape on Malcolm X, man. He had every government official out, New York police, the military intelligence, the killer clowns was after him. Malcolm had every argument. to file charges against crimes against Nubian people over here. Why didn't they? Why would they let him? Why they didn't want him to give that speech? You know, we're gonna break all that down on another tape called "What Happened to Malcolm." But you see right now that these boys will kill the clowns. J. Edgar Hoover. You say I'm chopping up? I'm right by the internet. It's doing something funny. All right, so you see these boys kill the clowns, right? And one of them was the president. Well, I think J. Edgar Hoover ended up becoming president too. But keep in mind, you cannot be president in the United States corporation business without being first a killer clown. You got to be at least a killer clown to be president. So anybody you see running, or you could be a nicer Templar, but the only one that I know that was like that, it was only two people that I know that were Templars. It might have been a couple more, but that was George before the Templars turned. And then the next Templar is Donald Trump. But there's a war going on between the Templars and the Shriners. I'm about to break all that down for you. Right? And it's about gold and money and control. And it's pretty much Luciferian shit, which is why it's about to get ready to crash. You see? Okay. So these boys, Truman put J. Edgar Hoover right on them. And J. Edgar Hoover said that we already know about Malcolm X. We had to take his father out. Allegedly. We got to say allegedly for YouTube purposes. They allegedly, well, they said that his father hit himself in the back of the head with a hammer and threw himself on a train. And keep in mind, Malcolm X's father was a Marcus Garveyite. He was talking Pan-Africanism. And that sounded good for a while until Marcus Garvey found out that Walter Plecker and them was gaming them. And when they found out they was gaming them, they got rid of Marcus Garvey. They killed him. Once Marcus Garvey is finna say, oh, they trying to send us back to Africa. Wait a minute. We ain't from Africa. Boom. Let's kill him. Let's kill him. Malcolm X. Oh, look, we ain't from Africa. He went to Africa. They told him, man, y'all ain't from Africa. Y'all from America. They playing y'all. You need to go to the UN and straighten this business out. Hooking up with the Pinto. And when the same time Malcolm was being killed, the Pinto was being killed. Gunned down right in Nairobi. The same damn time. By who? The people who did Malcolm and the other guy was the Knights of Templars. Because the Knights of Templars is responsible for off-world protection. I mean, off planet, not off planet, off the United States, outside the United States, for the threat to national security, which is the threat to the Federal Reserve. The Knights of Templar fight that. And keep in mind, this Federal Reserve is connected with the church. The church in London, all this is connected. I just want to paint a picture of who these killer clowns and what they all about. They set up hospitals all over the United States and they looking for the child. They looking for some kid. They tell you what they all about. You see, they spending $22-25 million a day on running the hospitals. Where they getting all that money from? Where they getting all that money from, man? Somebody tell me something. Unless they getting paid by the black hand in the background. Now let's go. So keep in mind, the FBI is set up to monitor the Federal Reserve. Anybody that get caught messing with their feet out, whether it be counterfeiting it, getting it without them knowing you got it. See, they keep control over the money. The killer clowns is also they supposed to guard the money, the fiat, and monitor it and make sure that the people who don't supposed to get their hands on it don't get their hands on it. That's why you poor. That's why you poor, because they making sure you stay down, nigga, in the tomb. See, we in the tomb. They making sure you stay down in the tomb. So if you get too much money, so you just might get out of it. You might get out of your situation and do something different. So they make sure you don't got that much money. They make sure you stay poor. They make sure you live check to check. This is these killer clowns' job. I'm telling you, man. People might think I'm crazy for telling you this, but this is the truth. So they guard the money. Anybody getting some money and you ain't getting them a cut, they ain't taking the cut off of it. Or if they don't know if you ain't working for them, they gonna come and take that money and everything and all your assets that go with it. Because they got to keep you down on the ground. And my granddaddy used to say, if you want to keep your man down, keep your foot on him. Don't let him get up. Keep your foot down on him. If you want to let a man keep a man down, and don't you think they've been had their foot on us for quite some time now? I'm telling you, man. The band too tight. We get to this all the holy tablets. So they ride around in these clown cars at the parade. They parade around with our crown on. These are the clowns that we told you about, the killer clowns that know about the mounds, but they're a whole bunch of clowns. They're trying to rock our crowns, and they know about the mounds, but they're a whole bunch of clowns. They can never be us because they don't got no melanin. Okay. Now, so the Shriners are beings, they go all the way back, like I say, during BC era, the Magi, priests, right? They were magicians. They were wizards. Wizards, keep in mind the wizards wear their fez. Then you got another wizard that wear a cone hat. Right? The wizards that wear the cone hats with the brim. And also keep in mind about the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, because all this gonna tie in together. All right, so now the Shriner's job is to guard the tomb to keep you asleep. Then you have another group of beings referred to as Knights of Templar. And keep in mind the symbol for the Ku Klux Klan. Let's go back. Hold the symbol for the Ku Klux Klan in your mind. And keep in mind, they call a leader the Grand Wizard. The wizard. Why they talking wizardry? Why they wearing wizard hats? Is this a conjure war? Like Rod Hayes told you? Don't let this go over your head. Is this a conjure war? Why would they send wizards after us? Shriners are Magi's, wizards. Knights of Templar, wizards. And the alchemy that they use, right? Because these Knights of Templar are alchemists, and they use potions. One of the potions that they used against us is called crack cocaine. Another potion, heroin. Another potion. Should I go on? Liquor, hard liquor. We was already making wine and beer in ancient Kemet, though. We was already getting jacked up already, so I can't. Having the shit, they got it from us. Look, now I ain't gonna lie. Like a lot of this stuff, it came down from the Anunnakis, because the Anunnakis was doing all of it. We already taught them classes already, but we going back to tie some more stuff in for you. Right? The Anunnakis was already doing it. They was already doing all them things I just said. Go back and get my tapes, the Chronicles of the Anunnakis, and listen to I think it's like 5 and 6 and 7. Those tapes, those ones when Enlil was giving drugs to keep the miners docile. But we're gonna talk about the Knights of Templar and the Knights of the Ku Klux Klan. Now, why would they send wizards over here on our land? Unless it's a part, this is a conjure. Unless it's a conjure. Come on, man. Let's get into it, man. Stop playing with us. Keep in mind, the Knights of Templar are alchemical assassins. And Mark Brady told you niggas that. No, you niggas don't like Mark Brady, right? Some of you niggas don't like Mark Brady. But I heard him say that they was alchemical assassins. And I put it together to say, okay, all right, that makes sense. So look, keep in mind the symbol, the cross, because these beings was originally working for the church. These beings was originally working for the church. They protect the church entrance. Jesus, they were soldiers of Christ. And keep in mind, the Jesuits is the same connection. Jesuits and Knights, the Templar, is the same connection. Because they are soldiers for Christ, is what they tell us in their doctrine. But we just want you to pay attention to the symbol. And keep in mind, we told you these guys are alchemical assassins, meaning they put mixed potions. They put poison on their sword and darts. They don't just kill you naturally. You die from some heart attack or something because they poisoned you. Like they did King George III and his whole family with arsenics and cyanide. You see? That's how they kill. Or you come outside and put your keys in your car and boom, you blow up. Or they do you like they did Left Eye and rig your gas line, your brake line, so you'll crash and run off the road and make it look like it was a natural accident. That's how these people kill. These are alchemical assassins. Or they get you hooked on crack cocaine and they crack you out. Or they mind control you. Or, and keep in mind, you gotta go get a game called Assassin's Creed, because in Assassin's Creed, you need the whole storyline of these guys. Where the CIA train their guys at right now, called the Forum, the Knights of Templar used to train there for hundreds of years on that same land. The Knights of Templar ain't nothing but the CIA right now. And they alchemical assassins. Why? Because they bringing the dope. They bringing all the dope in, allegedly. But, I mean, it's hard to say allegedly when you show us on your movies and series of how you was working with Rick Ross, or how you was working with Bumpy Johnson to bring in guns and drugs into our community. We don't own no planes. We don't own no boats. Niggas don't own no aircraft carriers. You brought it in and used it to flood your walls in Nicaragua and in Iraq. And then, should I go on? Yeah, we know it all. Operation Mongoose. I hope they don't shut us down. We ain't saying nothing nasty. Yeah, Operation Mongoose. Now, I'm going to tell y'all something, because I know you suckers listening. I ain't no goddamn communist. I'm a capitalist. I ain't no communist. So you ain't going to try to put me in the same boat with Malcolm X. I ain't no damn communist. I don't believe in the equal shit, because we ain't equal. Nubians is not equal. We above all the people on the earth, just like God said. The children of Israel above all the people on the face of the earth. We ain't equals. So I ain't for equal rights, none of that. You can't never be equal with us. You see? So don't try to put me in the boat with Malcolm X. Y'all make your own self look stupid. You know? So now you got an idea that these knights, because Bible said at one point they had met up in Jerusalem, and the knights and the Shriners, or they would call another group at that time that wore the black outfits with the, I'll think of it in a minute. The starts with an H. I'll take it up in a minute. It'll come to me. But they become the Shriners later, after they get after the white boys get a little bit of information from a play and bring it over to America and set up the 13 Shriners, which become the guard the tomb, the guard to 1913 Woodrow Wilson Federal Reserve, speed up to the point, right? So these beings go back, the origin of these beings go all the way back, really, to the Jedis. When you go to outer space, they go all the way back to the Jedis. Then they trickle down to another group that was in ancient Kemet from the Afar people, which was a secret assassin group called the Magi's. The Magi's were a group of assassin beings that practiced out with all kind of different weapons. And the Pharaoh, they were like the Pharaoh Knights or something like that. Or really, they were like the first Navy SEALs, the Frogmans. These are four people called the Magi's. You can pull them up. Matter of fact, let's pull them up. I can pull. I keep on forgetting that I got Google right here, and I can pull some of this stuff up for you. They were called the Magi's, right? And people might not like how I pronounce shit. I'm from Louisiana, so we could shit shout. We use Ebonics. Okay. Let me show you what these people look like. Here they go right here, right? These are your people. Especially if you Williams, Yorks, you Harrises, you Millers, Williams. As I said, Williams, didn't it? These guys were like the first type of assassins back in ancient Kemet, and they practiced they were the first ones doing karate and all that. They call it the Manchu art form. These people were before the Chinese man. That China man don't come till later. So they practiced in the Manchu. They practiced with all different types of weapons, and they were high advanced trained soldiers called the Magi's. Magi's, go look them up. We just pulled it up for you to show you. Okay, so this was a group. This was a group before the night. They were like the Templars before. Then after this group, another group set up called the Knights of Michael. Then they set up the Knights of the Round Table, Arthur, with King Arthur, the Knights of the Round Table. Right? We got pictures of that too. But they were magicians. And keep in mind, that word is being used loosely. Here you go right here, Knights of the Round Table. And keep in mind, King Arthur and them was hooked up with Merlin the Magician, who Bible said was the incarnation of Enki, right? But Merlin the Magician was supposedly King Arthur's dad, right? And that'll make him Enki's son, King Arthur. But they set up the Knights of the Round Table as a secret order of alchemists. And keep in mind, when I say alchemists, a lot of y'all might understand what I'm saying. But when I say magic or magician, you might get the aspect of a nigga saying abracadabra or yabba dabba doo or what's some of them other magic words they got. Nah, we ain't talking about no magic like that. We talking about real science and chemistry of making gunpowder, of making different elements, or mixing different elements to make another compound. Like crack cocaine is put together by alchemists. And it's a combination of baking soda and cocoa powder put together, cooked down to a fine base, and they became calling it free base. And if you think that wasn't a potion, I can't help you. If that wasn't some witchcraft at its highest form, drug dealers are that cook cocaine are alchemists. They are wizards, witches, warlocks. If you sell drugs, you a witch and a warlock. I'm telling you, man. Especially if you're cooking it. So alchemy is not abracadabra. Alchemy is making beer, moonshining, turning water into wine. That's alchemy. Not no miracle. It's not no miracle for those who know how to do it. Because take this. They turn water into wine in jail right now. In jail, they turning water into wine right now. They call it hooch punch, toilet bowl wine. And I can go on and on and on. They sewing people's ear back on right now. That's alchemy, surgery, medical stuff that Imhotep was involved with. They got all that stuff from Imhotep. But all this is alchemy, medicine, science is alchemy, not no damn abracadabra. It's established that point. But the Knights of the Round Table were alchemists. And then they went down to Knights of Templar. It was a couple other groups in between. But keep in mind this symbol. You remember that? A lot of this stuff might go over your head, but we put it in the book called The Scroll of Eyes. Like I say, we still got the 8 books for $45 to the Cash App or PayPal. If you haven't got those 8 books, we send them in PDF form to your email address for $45 donation to the Cash App or PayPal. Be sure to put your emails in the link so I can see your books. As soon as I see the money, I'm going to see your books. Right? The 8 books. So in the book of The Scroll of Eyes, we break all this down about these alchemists. Now look at that symbol. And keep in mind, I want to put two side by side. All right, remember this symbol. And then look at the Knights of Templar symbol. And you remember what the Umbrella Corporation was all about. Alchemy. Now, we can't say what the other part is, but you go watch Resident Evil, and you'll see what the game is. And then you'll know who trying to create a zombie apocalypse. Hold on, let's get it. We're going to lock that one in. And let's lock this one in right here. So you can see them for what they are. Who are the beings putting the different things on the street? You're going to see right here. When they tell you about what Rod was talking about on that last tape, when he talked about the crown, who were putting this stuff on the streets? Hold on, they won't let me side by side. Hold on, how's this? Now look at that. This is a Knights of Templar sign, and this is the Umbrella Corporation sign. So you know what the Umbrella Corporation was all about. You see? You know what the Umbrella Corporation was all about, and you know what I just told you what the Knights of Templar are about. They are alchemical assassins. So who's the ones creating all these things to create these, the Pan-D? Who's the one doing this? Who's the one putting the drugs on the streets? And you notice they do it to us. Sell it in the Negroes community. Who are the beings who trying to keep us down? But now, see, they were working together. Both alphabet boys were working together against us. But now the tables are turned. Because keep in mind, Donald Trump goes back to the Knights of Templar. And this is another part we got to tie in before we get out of here on Water Beat. How much time we got, man? We don't want to go over time. We got about 15 minutes. We got to cover this part. We might go over about 15, 30 minutes. Because we got to cover this part. You already know who came after Huey P. I'm telling you, man, the people who really after us, who controlling these people, they look like us, man. They are our own people that turn us into these people. When Jesus came out, they said, who do you want? You want the thief, the killer, or do you want Jesus? They say we want the thief and the killer. This type of people we dealing with. Okay? You already know about COINTELPRO. The coins tell the pros. The money, because the COINTELPRO is set up by FBI. Remember we told you FBI watch the money. So coins tells the pros. The coins is how you tell what they got going on that's going to be pro. That's why one of their number one things on their list is what is his capability? How much money do he got? If he got a lot of money, then he can become a threat. That's how they assess if you're a threat or not. What is his capability? What is his intentions? What is his agenda? Well, I'm going to tell y'all what my agenda is. My agenda is already done. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, you already too late on that. We already got a certain amount of people to a certain amount of level, a certain level now. But we got to cover this part before we get up out of here. Now, keep in mind the Knights, the Moors, because Rod Hayes told you in Barcelona, Spain, and in Madrid, in Morocco, the Moors wore these hoods, these Knights of Templar hoods, because the Moors are the first Knights, which is why on Black Knight, till they played these games, they would keep on calling Martin Lawrence a Moor. We got to make this last connection for you. The Dirty Moors, the Knights, right? The Knights of Templar, the original ones that were fighting for the church, were these tall skinned, dark skinned. They really were a mix between Watusis and these 200 fallen. That's why they were so tall. These beings were tall. Shaquille O'Neal height. Keep in mind, a Knights of Templar helped Christopher Columbus sail over here. And he was a dark-skinned Knights of Templar who referred to himself as a Moor. You gotta keep this in mind. Now, we cut this brother some slack because we found out in 1492 what they call April Fool's Day is when they tricked the Moors into thinking they was gonna let them leave, and then they told them to get on the boats, and when they got on the boats, they blew them up, and they kept the navigators and the navigators' family in prison. And they told the navigators, you're going to help us sail to this new world, or else we're going to kill your family. So this brother's family was being held hostage. So I say to the brothers that say this brother was a bad guy, I say, what would you do if you was in his shoes? Would you help these mulattoes? Because that's what they were. Isabella was a mulatto. Christopher Columbus was a mulatto. They wasn't white folks like they make you think. And then the John Rolfe and all them that tricked Pocahontas, they were dark-skinned Moors, not white folks. We weren't mixing with white folks like that over here, man. Come on. You think Pocahontas came over here and fell for two white dudes? Man, we didn't never get down like that. We didn't look at them people like that. Pocahontas didn't go with no two white guys. She went with some niggas that look like us, but ain't us. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. You think a black Nubian Native American princess got on a boat with a whole bunch of white boys? Let's think about that. They painted a story that a whole bunch of white boys came over here. One of them named John Rolfe and another named John Smith. Contrary to what they teach, John Rolfe won over. So you think that she left a Nubian Native American girl, that was a #1 princess, left by herself on a boat with a whole bunch of white boys? A black girl leave on a boat with a whole bunch of white boys, she asking for trouble. She asking for trouble. I'm telling you. So keep in mind these knights were Moors. The black conquistadors, these are the niggas that sold us out right here, man. Why you let the Ku Klux Klan burn a cross in the yard? COINTELPRO, you already know what happened to King. You already know who got King, the killer clown. Because he was getting ready to expose. But that's the part I want to point out. Let's see if I got it in here. Because we got another part to this. It's called A Day at the Forum. Keep in mind, all these guys are Knights of Templar. These are knights for the church. The church got its own military called the Knights of Templar and the Jesuits, which are like the police. The Jesuits are like the police, and the knights are like the military. And all these guys are high rank in Knights of Templar. Don't fool yourself. Watch now. We're going to get ready to get into it. This last little part. about how the Knights of Templar, how the beef started between these two guys. So remember the Black Conquistadors. Now it's a guy. Yeah, remember Black Conquistadors. It's a guy. Hold on, let me see, can I find this guy? I remember the Knights, the Black Knights are Moors. Look how black this chick is. The Moors were the Knights that were coming over here. Okay. Look at this symbol right here. Look at this symbol. That's a Knights of Templar symbol. Letting you know that these alphabet boys are Knights of Templar. And the other alphabet boys are clowns, killer clowns. So who do the crooks in action work for? United States Corporation. That's why it says United States Corporation, not America. It says America right here, right? Let's blow it up. United States of America, that's what they say, right? But they really work for the United Snakes. And they work for the church. All this is a modern day Knights of Templar. Assassins. When they show you all those assassin movies, don't they be part of the CIA? The Knights of Templar. Okay. We got to go back, though. I got to teach you this one part. Now, keep in mind, Jeff Ford wasn't no damn gangbanger. He had a fez on. These brothers got beards like they following the Hebrew law. These brothers wasn't no gangbangers. They told you that so they could deframe these brothers in the public eye, give them a bad jacket so they could get them off the streets. Why? Because they was a threat to the Federal Reserve. Jeff Ford was a threat to the Federal Reserve. Why? Because he was telling people that they were Moors, that they were native to the land. This Jeff Ford right here with the fez on. But he a damn gangbanger? He a peace stone? Come on, man. Enough of the gangs. So gangbangers wear fezes? Gangbangers wear Tara Bush with the whole Hebrew beard jumping off? Man, these brothers were Hebrews and Moors. They all Hebrews. These brothers was Hebrews and Moors, man. These brothers wasn't no gangbanger. Larry Hoover, the same thing. This brother wearing for his symbol, he got the damn Hebrew Israelite star. He dressed like he be ready for a beard. What they ain't telling us? They told us this brother's some gangster disciple. What is it? What is a disciple, for that matter? Didn't Jesus have 12 disciples? I mean, come on now. It seemed like they criminalized these boys to get them off the streets. Somebody lying to us. They told us Larry Hoover was a gangbanger. Well, it seemed like to me he banging the God of Israel. It seemed like to me he banging the God of Israel, man. You know what I'm saying? He got the star, he got the beard, he wearing the white. I mean, come on. So we see that the game is to make our organizations that can rise up and be a threat to the killer clowns job. They put them in the killer clowns prison. Because keep in mind, Florence, Colorado, where Bob and them at, and Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford and them at, is a federal prison owned by who? None other than the killer clowns. The killer clowns own that prison. I mean, come on, man. Do I gotta beat this over your head constantly? Or what happened to us? Or who after us? And people study attacking out this one and that one and this one, and they ain't never mentioned the goddamn killer clowns or the goddamn crooks in action, Knights of Templar, who now turn against each other. Yeah, we done with the lies, man. We done with the games. We ain't scared of y'all no more. We ain't scared no more, man. So do I gotta beat you over the head to tell you what they did? This is the prison where Bob and them at, underground. They don't know if it's day or night. Larry Hoover, Bob and them don't know if it's day or night. And they built it like pyramids. Hence why, look, it's got 3 pyramids you see 3 pyramids, like the 3 pyramids at Giza. Now, if this ain't no, and keep in mind, we dealing with the killer clowns who are alchemists, who built this prison, who designed this prison. The killer clowns who are alchemists designed this prison. And keep in mind the name of the prison. Influence. Influence. Hear it? You hear it? Influence. So they're in fear of our influence. You hear? The prison that Baba, Larry Hoover, Jeff Ford, niggas that were wearing fezzes and practicing Hebrew commandments, but they got labeled as gangbangers. The killer clowns took them off a street because they was a threat to the national security Federal Reserve, and they got put into this prison, which is 3 pyramids underground. Man, you figure it out. I ain't got to beat this over your head. And keep in mind that these Knights of Templars had control of the gold. The Knights of Templars had control of the gold, and the Shriners want to cut it. Won't they cut? But the Knights of Templar don't want to give them they cut. And this goes all the way back to a man named Hernando Cortez and Abu Bakr. Okay, let's paint that part in for you. Let's paint that part in for you. I'm actually going to take this tape down and reload it back to the video side, man, after this, if they don't approve it. But keep in mind, Abu Bakr Inky was bringing gold over here to the Aztecs into Central America to speed it up. You people that's already up to speed. Abu Bakr returned after Inky, the cycles that Inky, I think it was like 50-something cycles. They told Inky he was going to return. Abu Bakr returns. They give him the gold to sum it up. We got this storylines, the whole storyline out already on the Mansa Musa files 1 through 4. You go click to that, you watch it. I'm just going to sum it up. Abu Bakr get that gold. He didn't want to take all of it back to Africa. They had so much gold, he wanted to get as much as he can before he went back to Africa. So he did. This is Abu Bakr coming over here, right? And landed in Central America with the Aztecs. At this time, these are the Aztecs. They are mixed with Hoshin and the Armacs. Keep that in mind. This is before Hernando Cortez in the 1500s. Abu Bakr came over in 1313, like 1307, 1310. Right? Keep that in mind. Keep them dates in mind. All right? Abu Bakr and Mansa Musa. You know about Abu Bakr. Mansa Musa was Abu Bakr's brother. All right? I got to make this connection. Abu Bakr didn't sell back the first time. We actually put this storyline in the beginning of the Hustler's Manual, one of the 8 books that you would get if you paid $45 for the 8 books. One of the books is called The Hustler's Manual, where we break down the whole storyline in detail on Mansa Musa and Abu Bakr and how Abu Bakr came over here, the second, and got that gold from them, and then he sailed up the Mississippi River all the way up into a place called the Black Hills where he purchased land, and he began burying gold in this hill, which later became Mount Rushmore. Now, why, out of all the places, they picked South Dakota to go chill these niggas' face on? And they ain't what they ain't telling you. It's a secret cave system, and they showed you in a movie called National Treasure Hunt that it was a city of gold under this structure. And listen at the name, Mount Rushmore. Mount Rush the Moors. Man, this shit is like right there, right? You know, I mean, I ain't got to beat this over your head no more. Keep in mind, it's an opening right here to go down to that city. And keep in mind, the Knights of Templar guard this area because they got a base here. The Knights of Templar got a base here. And you know who the Knights of Templar is? We already broke that down. The crooks in action. That's another name for them. And like we told you, where they train at, called a form, the Knights of Templar have been training there hundreds of years. Go back and get the videotapes on the Assassin's Creed, and they'll show you they were training right there in Maryland on the farm. Knights of Templar. And what are Knights of Templar? Assassins. And what are the CIA? Assassins. I mean, I ain't got to beat it over your head. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of having to tell people this shit. It should be common knowledge now. It should be common knowledge. What's not true, Mozart the Great? What's not true? Speak your word. What's not true? So we can bust your head. Everything we say is fact. What you got? What you got? Or you just up in here to be a killer clown, to be a clown? Cause we mute niggas out and we boot niggas out. We boot niggas out and we bust niggas out. Are you talking about, okay, all right, my bad, Mozart the Great. My bad. So, yeah, this is the doorway they found behind, and it's another one, too, right on George Washington's ear that they found. They go to a secret passage, and they still be doing rituals down here where they messing with little kids and stuff. Now, they made an attempt to try to move that gold, but when they try to move it, an earthquake, it's like a Titanic plate shift was about to happen. So they just left it right there, and they guard it right now. These Knights of Templar. Why you think they picked out of all the states they could have picked, all the places in the United States, why would they pick South Dakota to put that right there? Because they knew that Abu Bakr, they had chased Abu Bakr putting that gold there. That's just one thing. Another thing, Hernando Cortez. Right here, they showed you pictures of this underground gold city made of gold. And I believe some of this gold was already down there because ain't nowhere in here. I don't think nowhere in here Abu Bakr bought that much gold. He could have, though. Is it possible? Because they said they had a shitload of gold. And he couldn't haul all of it. And he even took some back to Africa and gave it to his brother. And his brother became the richest nigga in the world ever to live. Mansa Musa. Okay? So this was the war's about the gold, okay? So Donald Trump just claimed the gold back from the Shriners, or the gold that the Templars was hiding. All right, so keep in mind Hernando Cortez. I'm trying to find a picture of him. Oh, David. They refer to. Oh yeah, see this right here? Look at this. Look at this Moor. Look at this Moor's knight with her hand out from the Pope. So the Pope was paying these people. These knights were getting paid by the Pope. He got a hand out like, we did the job, pay us. Now for these knights, this wasn't personal. This was business. This was business for these dirty knight Moors. This was business for them. They just was trying to get paid. That's why she pulled the glove off and had her hand out. And look at this. They got her black face, white hand. Figure it out. Black face, white hand. And it's really the other way around. They use white faces and there's a black hand. White face and the black hand. Like Rod said. Now, so, like I say, Hernando Cortez came over here as well and went to Central America. They began to giving him gold. And these particular knights, and I believe Hernando Cortez was a mulatto. Or a dark-skinned Spaniard, because keep in mind the Moors were in Spain prior to. So I believe that Hernando Cortez is really a dark-skinned Moor, dark-skinned Moor. They had because these Moors spoke Latin, some of them, or what you call Greek or Italian. All that's the same. It's just different dialects, right? The dirty Moors. I believe that Hernando Cortez was a dirty black dude. I got this picture when I say black Hernando Cortez. They pulled us up. So this dude could have been a dark-skinned brother. Because they lie about everybody being white. They make everybody white. I mean, right now they're trying to make Shaka Zulu a white guy. I mean, these people going crazy, man. I mean, we know damn well Shaka Zulu wasn't white. And hey, they try to make Nelson Mandela a white guy. They try to make Martin Luther King get whiter and whiter every Black History Month. He get lighter and lighter to where that nigga damn near light-skinned nigga now. I'm telling you, man, this is a game. But keep in mind, Hernando Cortez sailed over here and got gold. And keep in mind, he was a Templar. These people work for the church. And keep in mind, these dirty Knights of Templar, black conquistador Moors, came over here and got that gold, and they didn't want to take it back again to the Pope. Because keep in mind, they were working for the Pope. If they would have went back to the Pope, they would have to turn that gold over, and then the Pope get them a cut out of it. These Templars say, screw that. We're going to take this gold and hide it somewhere, because this is too much gold for a Pope and one king. That's what these Templars said. So they ended up taking the gold and hiding it on an island called Nova Scotia Island. Where is that island? Nova Scotia Island is right off the coast of Delaware, that area right there. And they buried the gold on that island for a while until the Shriners found out that it was hidden there and they went looking for it. Then the Knights of Templar went and moved the gold again under that church called Trinity Church on Wall Street. And some people say, oh, that's the movie. No, that church really exists. It's the oldest building on that street, Trinity Church. They show you in the movie National Treasure Hunt. The Knights of Templar, and keep in mind, Nicolas Cage is a Knights of Templar. Don't fool yourself. He showed you at the beginning of the movie where they knight him. The Knights of Templar get knighted, and the Shriners walk under the Royal Arch. But they all was on the same team for a while till the gold, the greed came in. They all was against us until the greed. See, Satan's kingdom is divided, so it eventually fall. Right? Satan's kingdom is divided, so it eventually fall. Right? So they buried it there. Then they took it to Wall Street, Trinity Church. Then they got found. The Knights of Templar moved it to California, Vallejo, California, under the Masonic Lodge, which Mark Brady pointed that out. And then they moved some to under the World Trade Center. Little do you know what 9/11 was all about. You see what I'm saying? And Benjamin Banneker is the one that found the gold. Keep in mind, Benjamin was one of these dark-skinned Knights of Templar. Benjamin Banneker was a dark-skinned Knights of Templar. That's why he was in bed with George. George was a Knights of Templar. Man, we about to get out. We probably running the iron hot right here. We're telling you too much in one segment here. This is a lot. It's a lot. But they've been hiding. These Templars been hiding and protecting the gold. And the Shriners want their cut. So a war started out now. And now the Shriners, the Templars say, screw y'all. We going to blow y'all cover. And so now you get Donald Trump, who's a grand wizard, Knights of Ku Klux Klan. And it's really not about racism with them, with these Klansmen. I'm telling you, man. Somebody playing games on with us. And little do you know what the Democrats is all about. These knights came over here to force your people to be Democrats. You were Republicans at first. For the public, for the republic for which it stands, not for the Democrats, Democrat. You see? So this war between the two alphabet boys is about money and people who cross each other out. And it's individualities that's taking place in the background that's causing now one fraction to go after the other, to eat it, one fraction to feed off the other, to where they eat each other and destroy each other up. And Donald Trump is that knight that's coming in to go out to shut down these other guys, these killer clowns. The killer clowns are the ones that's messing with the kids. You don't remember when I told you about the children's hospital? They spent $24 million a day looking for some kid, looking for the kids. Knights of Templars don't talk about the kids. It's the Shriners that do the kids. So who are the people that got these kids underground? Who are the people that's getting these kids for the black hand and have all these underground tunnels and all these secret parties with little kids? Who's the one doing that? The killer clowns is doing that. They throw circuses for little kids. They dress up like clowns to attract little kids, not grown-ups. So who are the kids? You do it, man. So now the Templars, because these killer clowns were affecting the Templars' kids, that's part of it too. They say, and the Knights of Templar are more powerful than the clowns. The Knights of Templar are more powerful than the clowns because they got more people. Because the Mossad is part of the same thing. The Mossad. For you not familiar with the CIA up in, I think it's Israel. So, who the one that doing the kids? And now their time is up on the square. Because they wasn't fair and square like they said. They wasn't fair and square like they said. So now their time is up. I think we might went over the time, man, but we've heated, man. I'm heated. I hear people talking a lot of stuff, but nobody never talking about what's happening to us like this. And this right here is just part of it. So you know who putting the alchemists that were putting the shit on the streets because they wasn't getting no funding from the government. They had to fund themselves. So that the alchemists started mixing up different chemicals and putting them on the street. Like we said, one of those will crack cocaine. I mean, we got to beat over your head. What's going on here? I think you pretty much got it after all this. So we about to get up out of here, man. If you want to show us some love, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Send us $1 on Cash App, man. $2, $3, $10. You really want to put your brother in the game for real right now today? Send him 100. Send him 25. It don't matter. We ain't picky, man. Yeah, if you want to get those books though, you can send the $45. I'll sell you all 8 books. So that'll probably be the best deal. Send the book, get the books, man. Support your brother, get the books. 8 books, $45 donation for all 8 books to the PD. Leave your Cash App in the links. And like I say, I break this down in the Scroll of Eyes. I talk about the Mansa Musa case in the Hustler's Manual. In that book. And all at least 5 of these books is like thick like the Holy Tablets. Like thick. So we're about to get up out of here, man. We love you all. Peace, Islam, Shalom Aleichem. Assalamu alaikum. Shout out Catherine Marie. Assalamu alaikum, Hotep, divine love, Ashug, throughout the boundless universe to all. Wadu. And keep in mind, we might, what's today? We might be back. I might take this tape down and reload it to the video side. So if you don't see it up after this, it's gonna be reloaded right back to the video side. So peace.